Big Z Reviews. It Chapter 2 is a sequel to the breakout film based on a book by Stephen King. And I really liked the first one, and I liked the second one. It has a lot to offer, even though it is extremely long.
To the losers?
We made an oath.
Swear? If it isn't dead, if it ever comes back, we'll come back to it.
We didn't stop it.
Pennywise.
The clown.
So I saw this movie with my brother, and it was funny. He actually, to prepare for it, he watched It Chapter 1 the night before we saw it. And it's been like a couple months since I saw It Chapter 1. I watched it again not that long ago, but it's faded a little bit from memory. And I think he disliked this movie a lot more than me. And I think it's because, partially, that he just watched It Chapter 1. Because this film, is a lot of it is like a retread of Chapter 1. Like, it is like it repeats a lot of stuff. And I think that you could watch this never having watched the first one, and you wouldn't really miss anything. And that's an odd choice, because it did so well. That a lot of people watched it, so you think that you wouldn't have to retread so much of the same ground. And this is again directed by Andy Muschietti, and there's the actors they got to play the older version of these kids. They're all really great. You have Jessica Chastain as Beverly Marsh, James McAvoy as kind of like the leader of the losers, Bill Denbrough, Bill Hader. He's probably the greatest in this movie. He has Richie Tozier and Isaiah Mustafa as Mike Hanlon, Jay Ryan as the fat kid, Ben Hanscom, and James Ranscone as Eddie Cashbreck, the guy that's really like crazy about dirt and stuff. Like, he's like a germaphobe, and Andy Bean as Stanley Uris, and of course you have Bill Skarsgård again reappearing as Pennywise, and you also have the kids appearing for too many scenes, But a lot of times there's side quests that says, okay, now we each have to go and find our totem, so go off and be spooked by the clown. And you see that they go and you see extra scenes that weren't in the first movie. Like, they were haunted more than the first movie showed, and it's an odd choice, Like, they have the younger kids as these characters. And because they've aged up, they had to digitally age some of them down. And I found that especially noticeable for Finn Wolfhard. I guess maybe he aged the most. But it wasn't that noticeable. Every once in a while it looked odd. Something looked odd about it. And I just think that, especially with this movie being so long and feeling long, I think that they should have cut a lot of this, but the scenes are good. I like all the scenes. That's the thing, because I still really enjoyed the movie, but it felt long. And that's funny, because a little bit before I saw this movie, I saw the extended cut, or the director's cut of Midsummer, which added 30 minutes to an already long movie. And it was funny because there weren't actually, there's only one fully cut scene, but Steph, the film maybe felt like it was able to breathe more. And in that movie, I didn't notice the length. And this movie, I did. I don't know why, something about how it's cut together that it feels like it's, it has to, run through all these different things. I wish that, Andy Muschietti, he had done something different to cut these things together. Maybe even split screen, or something, like, so you could see these people like being haunted at the same time, or you would cut between them. Instead of have like, you would have one long scene with this character, and then you go one long scene with the next character, one long scene with the next character, one long scene with the next character. Like, maybe if you somehow like merge them together better, like, it wouldn't have felt as length so much. But it's tough because, I mean, I did like those scenes. Like, I did like all the new scenes, like even some new haunting scenes for the kids and related to bringing into the adults. And I liked them all. I think they just wish it would have been cut up a little bit. It would have been a little bit of a tighter film. And as for the actual, like, craziness of the book, they delve a little bit into it. But again, the closest they come to the magical god turtle is there's a turtle in one of the classrooms. Like, there's a statue of a turtle, you know? Like, but they do a little bit with, you know, the history of the clown, of it, you know, what it actually is. And, you know, I like things that they did. And, you know, I liked a lot of, like, you know, the power of words, or the power of beliefs, and a lot of things that came with it, like, towards the end. But I think they could have had a little bit more of fun with it, like the idea that if you believe a weapon is a weapon that can hurt it, it can hurt it. Like, they did it once. I wish they would have done even more with that. But there's a lot of fun scenes, and it's a fun movie. I just don't know, like, the first movie, it was very rewatchable. Like, and even though it wasn't as good as the first time we saw it, but this one, I'm not sure how rewatchable it'll be. Probably because of the length, and because, you know, I don't know how you, like, if you went from straight one movie to the next, I think the second movie would be a slog, because there's so much repeating. Like, I mean, I think that if you, I don't know, I wish like a super cut the film, and if you cut some of the scenes out, and maybe if you put some of the kids scenes like in the kids stuff, like, I mean, to made the first movie longer, it made some sort of super cut. I think it could work better, but I don't know. We'll have to see if they do anything like that. But I did still enjoy it, you know? It's tough. It's a tough film because there's definitely problems with it, but at the same time, I thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, I definitely didn't dislike it as much as my brother did and no other people did. But, I mean, again, there is still things wrong with it. Like, I probably give still, like, I still enjoy it, so I'll probably give like an 8 out of 10. Maybe like a 7.75 out of 10. But, thanks for watching. And check out the replays on my head and subscribe to me at Z over there. Thanks. This has been a Big Z movie review. Thanks for watching.